is easy to define. Steady living bring you peace of mind. But would you ever trip my line? Steady living, a change of lifestyle. Steady living with my body.
Welcome back to the Peach Permaculture Farm. People for environmental action and children's health. We're proud to be here. Today is Tuesday, June 9th. We've got about a week and a half until summer solstice, so we don't stop to talk. We figured that our original goal was to get everything planted before the first full moon in June, but not everything happens the way you plan it, and that's why we just live and learn and roll with the flow. We had a nice little rain yesterday. It's absolutely gorgeous out here. The temperatures dropped. Couldn't be more perfect time for planting. And yesterday, somebody came out from Tolstoy Farm, just west of Spokane, and brought us 390-something strawberry plants. And I believe they're the strawberry plants that Tolstoy is famous for, so we're pretty excited about that. And they brought us over 100 raspberry stalks. So today, all their plans have ceased and halted, and now we're planting strawberries. We've got our fabulous little circle here with our 6 diamonds for blueberries, plus these wonderful fruit trees that are sprouting new growth so quickly. It's amazing what a tree can do from bare roots coming out of the mail off of an airplane into the ground in the hot sun with a little water and a little love. They're already growing up. So now we're going to add in a little row of strawberries around the outside. It'll be our ring of strawberries surrounding the rest of our berry and fruit patch. We won't cover everything. We'll keep some low-lying cover crops, like some different short clovers that will help build the soil. They'll be used as mulch. They'll fix the nitrogen down to the soil, and that'll leave us a little space that'll be soft enough to lay down in, roll around in. Once these trees have shade, we kind of figured it'd be nice to have something soft in there we can kick back on, or maybe have yoga spots on. So for now, we're planting strawberries around the outside ring. We're hand tilling, because that's what we have. It's hand tiller and our wheelbarrows to haul that wonderful organic manure that we're going to amend it with. If anybody has any leftover pots, of course we can reuse some of them. We're still doing some transplanting. We're trying to focus transplanting to the ground, but we can always use them for next year because we use so much of them. So this is the time of the year where people will be coming up with their empty pots from doing all their own transplanting. Do not throw them away, please. Save them or bring them in when you have time. If you got a big old bag of them, call us and let them know where they are. When we're passing by, we'll pick them up. You know, we'd much rather use them and reuse them than see them get thrown away or wasted. Don't let them take up space. Later today, we'll take a break for lunch and come back out and keep seeding the field. We went ahead and tilled the field, as you might know, because it was hard-packed, rocky ground, and that's the only way for us really to conceivably get as much done as we needed to. So we've got a little zone of raised beds. It's pretty much a mirror image of these triangle flows, and the circle. We'll put that mirror image over there that makes more or less an infinity sign, or a figure 8 of sorts, and to celebrate the infinite. And then the rest on the outskirts is all going to be left flat ground, and it's going to be planted in a more traditional organic farming method. We'll get the seeds in and get them sprouting. If we need to amend them with more manure, we'll come back and do that as more time is available to us. Melons, cucumbers, and squash. But we also have planted some melons, cucumbers, and squash around here. We put some of our cucumbers, like our Japanese and English cucumbers that we most wanted to be on trellises, we put in here on our fancy recycled metal trellises. And we're going to experiment with the shade that they create and whatnot. We're going to experiment with growing cucumbers on trellises there and out there. Basically, we want side-by-side experiments. There's a variation in the soil. The biggest variation is in the far corner at the highest point where it's a little rockier. And over here on this side, it has a little bit more clay to it. It seems like there's a little more organic matter in the soil. And that's more comparable to where we have all these trellises here. So we figured to make it a real experiment, we need to have some cucumbers going up our trellises here in the raised beds, the permanent raised beds. and then we'll have some out there on flat ground. And the next year, despite some's wishes, I fully intend to till just that zone again. Of course, this will all stay permanent raised beds, but that way, over the course of the next 2 or 3 years, we can see side by side, how do they work trellis, not trellised? How do they work retilled? How does it work in the permanent raised beds? And honestly, at this point, I think the raised beds are so beautiful and fun, and the labor is so extensive, that I've become somewhat objective and impartial to the outcomes of the experiments. So I'm just going to do as good a job as I can with all sides of it, and see what we can learn from it. I have a feeling that raised beds are better for some things, and that flat tilled ground are better for other things. And something we have to keep in mind are that labor hours make a carbon footprint as well, because we all eat, we all live in houses, and you know, we all pollute on some level or another. So you know, we have to take into account the labor on things, just right alongside the gallons of diesel that we're used to till with. But like I said, I'm pretty impartial and pretty objective about it. I feel like it's all going to work absolutely beautiful, and it's all going to look magical as it keeps growing up. We've got a lot of new growth. Our peas are actually climbing the trellises now. They're reaching out and grabbing hold. We've had a few volunteers come out to help. We could use a lot more help right now, because it's that crucial time to get it all in the ground as fast as we can. Despite the advice of our elders, I was a little bit gung-ho on seeing how many tomatoes and peppers I could sprout, and saying that we can give them all away, we can sell them, and we can give the rest all away. And in the end, I've learned that spreading myself thin is not the best way to do things. Sometimes it's better to be a little conservative. That being said, if anybody knows anybody who would like tomatoes, you can come get them by the pot, the tray, the truckload. Brownie points for anybody who wants a truckload to take to their church group, youth group, school group, Boy Scout group, you name it. Hopefully Friday we'll be taking a truckload down to a community center down in Peaceful Valley, where there's a nice little new mural project and a pretty neat group of people that live down there. And anybody who wants tomatoes, come and get them. We could always use the support. We've been very tight on funds. We would have started seeding the field weeks ago, but it actually took until just last week to come up with the money for deposit for using the water, because the water system we inherited, we don't have a hookup for. We hook up at the neighbors, and it took a while to do the fundraising for that. So we would really appreciate any help with any donations. You know, we're a tax-deductible nonprofit 501c3, so we would love to trade donations for help, advice, plants, receipts, you name it. And we could really use the help and some extra labor over the course of the next week or so. It's my opinion that when solstice comes, we're done planting. The point is to get the food out there. The point is to have people growing local food, because it's so easy. It does not take any skill to grow a fabulous tomato. There were tomato plants here last year, and the tomatoes didn't get watered through all of the drought of the summer, and they did fine. I mean, they didn't do as good as they could have, but they made wonderful fruit. It's my opinion that certain herbs and tomatoes, most things you can grow, are going to taste better when they're darn near starved to death than they would with chemical fertilizers on them. I know what herbs taste like when they're grown unorganically, and I know what tomatoes taste like off the shelf, and they don't have a whole lot of flavor if you're used to your homegrown tomatoes. I like supporting the local economy as best I can, but first and foremost, let's support ourselves and grow some of our own food in our backyards. It's not that hard. And come help us plant plants. Extra trellising materials, you know, long spools of thin wire or wire fencing like these trellises out here. Please let us know where it is, we'll come get it. Old hay. We need mulch. We don't care if it has snow on it. We don't care if it's rotting. It's better. So any old hay we can get, we would love to have it. If you can bring it out, we would love that. If you just want it off your hands, we'll come pick it up. Just let us know where it's at.
Steady living a change of lifestyle. Steady living with my body for a while.